always start off asking you just how's the week been, how's everyone feeling after Sunday and preparations?
Look, can't get away from the fact that we're all really disappointed at what happened on Sunday, and the week itself has been a positive one. Look, did we have to pick the players up when they came back in? Yes, because obviously they knew just how well they had played, and they also knew that had they have taken the chances that we created, we'd have won the game, but it wasn't to be. So it's a case now of using this week to learn, to be better, to continually stress the players in those environments that they're going to find themselves in on Saturday and that they found themselves in on Sunday. But I think in football you have to continue, and in life you've got to look forwards. It's too easy at times to continually look behind you and go, well, what if? Look, we didn't win a game of football that I felt we were fully justified in winning, but the week before we did, and we performed really well. So while it's not the result we wanted, we got the performance against Fleetwood in the result. I felt we got the performance against Wrexham, but we didn't get the result. So we need to stress to the players that we have to perform well again in this weekend's fixture against Stevenage, because if we continually do that, we will get results, and we've shown that this season.
Talk about picking the players up. What does that look like when you come in on a Monday or Tuesday morning?
I think it first and foremost, it's being open, honest, and transparent with the players around my thoughts from the game. I think it's quite easy to stand here now, having digested it, to see the reason as to why we didn't proceed to the next round in the cup. You know, I don't think I need to spell that out for everybody. We create loads of chances, we didn't take them. Now, in football, it's very easy as a player at times to be really down when things aren't going your way. But a lot of the game that we love and a lot of the game that I work in is based around the mental side. So all footballers have technical, tactical capabilities, but it's mental resilience which is really important. So we've spoken a lot about that this week. We don't all of a sudden become bad players because you lose a game of football that you should win. And it's those consistent messages at being the best that we can be in every game that we play in. So this week has been not too different to others. It's been slightly different on the training pitch because, you know, we spend a lot of time with the players talking at them and going over specific game plans. And we've done that this week, but we've also tried to double down on who we are and what we're good at, because we've shown on numerous occasions this season that when we get it right, we're a really good team. And look, we're under no illusion that we're going to have to be the best version of ourselves in the next game against Stevenage.
Obviously, the news in midweek that Tom Bloxham's being recalled from his loan. What was the thinking behind that one?
So Tom, unfortunately, can't be involved this weekend because it's not until Sunday that his loan finishes. So he's got an opportunity to come back in and train with us. What we have said to Tom is after this weekend, we'll make a decision that's right for him and that's right for the football club. He trained really well today. He had a big smile on his face. Look, Tom got what he needed out of this loan, and that was to play 25, 26 games. It was to be a regular starter, and he did that. So I've had a conversation with him this morning around what are the three things that he's learned having gone away from here and played week in, week out. And listening to him today, he's learned a hell of a lot. Are we getting a better Tom Bloxham than we did at the beginning of the season? Yes, because he's played 26 games of football. The conversation with Tom will be around, we know there's interest in him, but it's doing what's right for him and also what's right for the football club, because Tom's a player we know that can affect games. It's just a case of now taking an overview of everything whilst taking into account and consideration his thoughts and feelings, because Tom, you know, is still a really young player and he's got a huge future ahead of him. But as and when we make a decision on that, obviously you guys will be the first to know.
So I suppose there's a lot behind that. I suppose if you bring somebody in, that will affect that decision as well. Is that in potentially going back out on loan or leaving permanently?
No, it would just be a loan. No, Tom's our player. Look, I loved what I saw today in terms of what he gave us. He looks like a different animal on the football pitch, and that's what playing men's football we knew regularly would do for him. Have we, as I stand here right now, made a decision as to what we're going to do? No, Tom's our player. And look, we know Tom can perform extremely well. And he's a Shrewsbury Town player, and there's no way that he'll be leaving here in January on on a permanent transfer. The only way he'll be leaving here is if it's right for Tom and if it's right for us. But if it's right for us to keep him and it's right for Tom to stay here and play games, that's what he'll do.
You said obviously maybe based on if you bring anybody in. Are you any closer to bringing anyone home? You know, there's been a couple of players come down to watch from the stands. Are any updates on any potential incomings?
So we've had obviously one player from Wolves come down and one player from Crystal Palace. Both of those players, their parent clubs gave us permission. So we made sure that we followed the rules and the guidelines with that. Both of them liked what they saw. But as with a lot of signings in this window, their respective clubs have decided to hold on to them. Nathan has gone to Abu Dhabi with Wolves, and Adamola has been told that they would like to keep him in until after the replay against Everton. So, look, you're always at the mercy of other clubs. It's just part and parcel of the way the football pyramid works. But we're hopeful, obviously, that we will add quality to a position of the pitch in which we need to. That's no detriment to the players that are here, but we haven't scored enough goals, and we need to try and get some goals into the team and maybe add a different stimulus on the training ground as well.
I know when you spoke ahead of Wrexham, we always ask you about these loan signings that you've got in, but that seems to be getting closer now. Is there any decisions being made in any of the three that you've currently got in on loan?
Yeah, so Ryan Finnegan has gone back because of injury. There's nothing we can do about that. Elliot Thorpe has obviously gone back. Again, not a huge amount we can do. Had a good conversation with Hibernian, and they're happy with how Noan's doing and they'd like him to stay. Had no contact with Sunderland. And then I look at the other players that we have in terms of there'll be a decision made on Kieran Phillips because, again, that's injury dependent. And Brandon Fleming with Hull City. Those talks are ongoing. So, look, two of those players obviously have definitely gone back, and then it's a case of now having dialogue, and I know Mickey's having a lot of dialogue with the other football clubs and making the right decisions for the players, but also the right decision for us as a football club. But there's so many moving parts in January, and I'm finding out that obviously players that we would like to sign, we've missed out on one or two already. It's really competitive because other clubs are after them as well. So, look, we are definitely in a position now where we've made decisions on players, and we're also in a position where we're waiting for their parent clubs to maybe give us the information that we need.
I wanted to ask you about the comments obviously made by Tom Flanagan in the post-match after the Wrexham game. Have you or anybody from the club spoke to him about any of the comments that he made post-match?
Look, that has been dealt with in-house. Good conversation with Tom, and he's well aware of what we expect, as are all of the other players, when they are doing a media broadcast and they're representing the football club. It's as simple as that. The matter is closed. But yes, Tom and I have had a very good conversation. And look, football is all about opinions. I understand that, but every time I stand in front of a camera and I'm representing the football club, therefore there is a certain way that you have to put yourself across, and everybody in this building is aware of that.
Finally, just looking ahead to the Stevenage game, looking for a reaction obviously from Sunday, and take some of those chances that we spoke about afterwards. You know, your thoughts going into that one?
A reaction, yes, mentally. A performance like we have got in the last two games most definitely as a minimum. We must make sure that we respect the opposition as always. Look, we got beaten there earlier in the season. They're obviously a team that are doing really well. An excellent experienced manager who knows how to win games of football. They've got good players, they can hurt you in various ways, but we're at home. We've won 7 games at home in the league this season. I'm really excited about this. I think it's a great game for us. It's a game where we're going to have to earn the right to play, and if we can back up the result that we got against Fleetwood with a positive performance and the result, and are more ruthless in the final third, because the one thing that I do know is that this group of players will create chances, but then whomever it is that it falls to, they've got to take them. They have to, because to win football matches you have to score goals. We have been, I would say, on the whole, in open play, pretty good in terms of our defensive structure and shape. Going to need to do that again on Saturday in that game to have the best chance of getting a result. But listen, we need to score goals. We scored 3 against Fleetwood. We need to score goals against Stevenage. And every player going into that game is aware of that. Does that put more pressure on them? Does that put more pressure on me? Maybe. But it is ultimately the aim of a football game.
I just wanted to ask you just finally about contributions from other players. We talk a lot about the strikers, a lot of pressure on them, but contributions from your centre halves, your midfielders in that goal. Does that sometimes need them to step up as well if the strikers aren't scoring the goals that you need?
Yeah, if you just isolate maybe some of the chances that we haven't taken lately, it's not just been our strikers. So yeah, listen, goals can come from all over the pitch. I'd like us to score more goals at set plays. I'd like us to score more from open play. So whoever that chance falls to on Saturday, they need to be calm in that big moment and take the chance, because we know we will get opportunities. But let's be more ruthless in front of goal and be as resilient as we have been, continuing to work hard and earning the right to play our football in what's going to be a massive game on Saturday against Stevenage.